Hello students, today we are going to discuss the syllabus of machine learning. Before discussing the syllabus, we will see what is the structure given by university. Our course code is 232, course name is machine learning, the credits given are 4, internal assessment will be of 30 marks, university exam will be of 70 marks. So in this way there are total 100 marks. Then there is a practical depending on 3 papers, that is 231, 232 and 233. So depending on these 3 papers there is a core compulsory practical paper. Code of that paper is 235. Again it is having the same credits, that is 4, and total marks are also as per the theory paper, that are 100. Now we will see what the prerequisites are. First is familiarity with probability theory. Here probability is the mathematics branch of phenomena characterized by randomness of uncertainty. Probability is indicating how likely that event occur. It is used for modeling the situations. So whenever the result of experiment under the same circumstances produces different result, then probability theory is used. Here we can say a simple example. Event can be selecting a cheat from number of cheats. So whenever we are selecting a cheat, every time result can be different. Therefore we can use the probability theory here. Next topic is multivariable calculus. It contains functions of 2 or more independent variables. Then there is linear algebra, which is again a field of mathematics and also a prerequisite to understanding machine learning. It is about linear equations. Next prerequisite is Python language. Python is an interpreted high-level general-purpose programming language. It is used as a scripting language for web applications. It is the ideal language for teaching and learning of machine learning. A better option for downloading Python is downloading Anaconda package which comes with other packages. Now in Python there are number of packages. First is NumPy, or you can say NumPy. It is not another programming language but it is a Python extension module. It provides fast and efficient operations on arrays of homogeneous data. We know that array contains similar type of data. It is an open source numerical Python library. It can be utilized to perform a mathematical operations on arrays such as trigonometric, statistical and algebraic routines. Next is SciPy. It is again a package. It is a library which uses NumPy for more mathematical functions. SciPy uses NumPy arrays as the basic data structure, and it comes with modules for various commonly used tasks in scientific programming, including linear algebra, integration, ordinary differential equation solving and signal processing. Next package from Python is Pandas. So it is again an analysis library from Python which is improving analytics and modeling. So we are using Pandas for optimizing the analytics process and modeling of the algorithms. Next package is Matplotlib. It is Python machine learning library for quality visualizations. Jupyter Notebook is there. It is having collaborative work capabilities. We can see what is Jupyter Notebook in our syllabus also. So there are number of libraries which are not separate programming languages but they are coming with Python. So these and there are many libraries included which are the most useful Python libraries for data scientists and engineers. Now we will see what the course objectives are. First is to know the basic concepts and techniques of machine learning. Second is writing programs in Python for machine learning algorithms. Next is to learn libraries of machine learning. Then next is to know how to deploy machine learning model. These are the objectives. Next we will see course outcomes. So after completing this course, student will be able to know how machine learning can be useful for real world problems. Second outcome is by using Python libraries and machine learning algorithms, process available data and predict the outcome. Second course outcome is by using Python libraries and machine learning algorithm, process available data and predict the outcome. Next and third objective is to gauge the efficiency of machine learning by using suitable matrices. And the last outcome is to design applications using algorithms of machine learning. Now we will see what actual syllabus is. First chapter is Introduction to Machine Learning. In that we will see what is data science. Data science is interdisciplinary field. It is combining number of subjects or branches together, and it uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms and systems to extract the knowledge from many structured and unstructured data. Data science is related to data mining, deep learning and big data. Next is artificial intelligence. It is a simulation of human intelligence. Here, machines are programmed to think like humans and copy their actions. So, mimicking process is here. Machine learning is an application or type of artificial intelligence, and it provides the ability to the systems to automatically learn and improve from experience without explicitly programmed. Machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can access data and use it to learn for themselves. So, from data, computers are learning without programming, which is explicit programming. Next is dimensionality reduction. This is the process of reducing number of random variables or attributes. So if the data is redundant, as like normalization, we can eliminate that data from the data set. Next is descriptive statistics. It uses the data to provide descriptions of the population by using numerical calculations, graphs or tables. So it is used to describe or summarize data in a ways that are meaningful and useful. So data can be easily represented by using descriptive statistics. Then second is inferential statistics, which makes the interpretations and predictions about a population, but it is based on the sample of data. Sample is taken from the population. So with inferential statistics, we can take data from samples and make generalizations about a population. Next is correlation and regression. These are two analyses based on multivariate distribution. A multivariate or multivariable distribution is a distribution of multiple variables. Next is hypothesis testing. It is an act of statistics where an analyst tests an assumption regarding a population parameter. Hypothesis testing is used to measure the acceptability of a hypothesis by using sample data. So when we say that all swans are white, then we have to show that every swan is white. Then we will see how to create our own data set, importing the data sets, handling missing data, then splitting the data set into training set and test set, because these are two different data sets which we are going to train and test the algorithms of machine learning. And the last topic from this chapter is feature scaling. Now, second chapter is machine learning models. First, we will see machine learning models names. It is supervised, unsupervised, and semi-supervised learning. Now, in supervised learning, we train the machine using well-labeled data. So, when we say supervised, then remember that the data is having the labels. Opposite to that, in unsupervised learning, we are training the machine with no labeled data. So here data is not having any label. Semi-supervised learning is a method to train a machine which combines small amount of labeled data with a large amount of unlabeled data during training. Semi-supervised learning falls between supervised learning and unsupervised learning because it is consisting of both types of data. Next is bias, or we can say it is a topic from components of generalization error. Bias measures the deviation between the expected output of our model and the real values. So it indicates the fit of our model. Next is overfitting. Overfitting occurs when a statistical model or machine learning algorithm captures the noise of the data. Underfitting occurs when a statistical model or machine learning algorithm cannot capture the fundamental trends of a data. Next is variance. Variance measures how far a set of data is spread out. So it measures the spread out of data. A high variance indicates that the data points are very spread out from the mean and from one another also. Next we will see a learning system cycle and design cycle, then matrix for evaluation, classification accuracy and performance. Now third chapter is regression models. In this we will discuss linear regression and non-linear regression. Now regression analysis is a statistical method again which allows to examine the relationship between two or more variables. Regression analysis is used to find trends in data. So what are the different type of data is there and how it is behaving. For example, we might guess that there is a connection between how much you study and how much you score. So regression analysis can help us to measure that things. Simple linear regression is a statistical method that allows us to summarize and study relations between two continuous variables. It uses just one explanatory variable. Then multiple linear regression or MLR is a statistical technique that uses several explanatory variables to predict the outcome of response variable. Polynomial regression is a form of regression analysis in which the relationship between the independent variable x and the dependent variable y is modeled as an nth degree of polynomial in x. So we will discuss each and every topic one by one whenever we start actual syllabus. Now next is non-linear regression. In non-linear regression, observational data are modeled by a function which is a non-linear combination of the model parameters and depends on one or more independent variables. In that there is decision tree. It is a flowchart like structure in which each internal node represents a test on an attribute. So what is internal node? we have studied in data structure that internal node is a node which is having some root and which is having again some leaf. So all that internal nodes are nothing but taste on an attribute. Each branch of a tree represents, here each branch of the tree represents the outcome of the test, and each leaf node represents a class label. Means class label is nothing but decision taken after computing all attributes. It is popular tool in machine learning. It is one way to display an algorithm that only contains conditional control statements. Next is support vector. Support vector machine, or in short SVM algorithm, is a popular machine learning tool. It suggests the solutions for both classification and regression problems. And last one is random forest. Random forest are collaborative learning methods for classification, regression and other tasks. So these are the topics which will be covered in chapter number 3. Next chapter is classification models. In machine learning, classification is considered an instance of supervised learning. So classification means to find out which data is belonging to which class, or provide a label of a class to that particular set of data. Learning where the training set of correctly identified observations is available, that is supervised learning. Classification is a technique where we categorize the data into a given number of classes. The main goal of classification problem is to identify the category or class to which a new data will fall. Next chapter is clustering models. Cluster analysis is an unsupervised machine learning task. Suppose number of students are present on the ground, then we can find out some circles, and in that circles we can find out the circles where the group of students are having similar properties, and we can say that that is one cluster. So cluster analysis is an unsupervised machine learning. It contains automatic discovery of natural grouping in the data. Clustering algorithms only interpret the input data and find natural groups or clusters in feature space. Clustering is the task of dividing the population or data points into a number of groups such that the data point in the same group are more similar to other data points than those in other groups. So the data which is related to each other will be in the same cluster, and it will be different from the data which is there in another cluster. Okay. Now next chapter is association rules, chapter number 6. Now when we say association, then again data is related to each other. Association rule is if-then statement, which helps to show the probability of relationships between data items within large data sets in a various type of databases. It is a rule-based machine learning method for discovering interesting relations between variables in large databases. In this chapter we will see support, confidence and lift, and next we will discuss a priori algorithm. Now for example, we can find out the association that whenever one customer buys a bread, then check whether he is buying butter also with the bread. So this is nothing but finding out association rules. Next chapter is reinforcement learning. It is the type of machine learning technique that allows an agent to learn in an interactive environment by trial and error using a feedback from its own actions and experiences. In this, we will discuss about upper confidence bound, Thompson sampling and Q-learning. So these are the topics in reinforcement learning. Now next and last chapter of our course is deep learning. It is subfield of machine learning. It concerned with algorithms inspired by the structure and function of the brain, called artificial neural networks. Machine learning uses algorithms to parse the data, learn from the data, and make decisions based on what it has learned. Deep learning and machine learning both fall under the broad category of artificial intelligence. So, machine learning is based on the idea that machines should be able to learn and adapt through experience. And artificial intelligence refers to a broader idea where machines can execute tasks smartly. Artificial intelligence applies machine learning, deep learning, and other techniques to solve actual problems. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and machine learning is subset of artificial intelligence. So remember this term, that superset is artificial intelligence, then its subset is machine learning, and again subset of machine learning is deep learning. So we can say that artificial intelligence is an umbrella term for any computer program that does something smart. We will be discussing about artificial neural network, convolution neural network, and recurring neural networks in deep learning. So these are the 8 chapters which are in our syllabus. Now these are the references which we should use while learning machine learning. There is a huge list of references, and all books are very good. You can refer any book which is comfortable for you. All ebooks are present on internet. This is all about the syllabus. So thank you so much, and now enjoy the learning.